sprzętu Ukrainy. To jest blokada 7 miliardów euro, w tym pół miliarda euro, 2 miliardy złotych na Fundusz Modernizacji Sił Zbrojnych. To była kwestia, którą...
Good morning. We are here today at the European Council of Foreign Affairs to reiterate our strong support for the peace process in Ukraine. Romania supports the 20th package of sanctions, and we're also continuing to do our own work, specifically to increase the investments in the energy grid connection. This is something very important for the current moment, where we see Russia is using energy as a weapon of war, but also for the future reconstruction plan and economic prosperity. What we have seen in the 4 years of unprovoked war of aggression is not just a war that Russia started unprovoked against Ukraine, but also a Russia that is against its own citizens, having sent to death or having now victims that are injured in hospitals of more than 1 million Russian citizens. We see Russia having a decision to go against its own citizens, where they have stopped freedom of speech and all the things that we enjoy in our democracies. That is why we're going to discuss today also something that is very important across the European continent, which is how we recognize and how do we prevent malign interference, disinformation campaigns, and hybrid attacks that are going on against our democracies. We see it very clearly that the courage, the resilience of the Ukrainian people have allowed them to go through these 4 years with the courage intact. We see that the empathy and the great organization of the international community has helped us reach this point, but it is not enough. We need to increase the pressure on the aggressor. It's time for Russia to pay for what they have done, and it's time to ensure together that Russia will not start again their own networks that generate profit for their war machine. Romania stands by the 20th package of sanctions. In the disinformation, foreign interference conversation, we're also going to bring our own expertise. We have had our own experience with these campaigns, and we are ready to share from the lessons we have learned, but also to collaborate with other countries to create better instruments in terms of preventing and in terms of combating this type of interferences in our democracies. We do not need just a democracy shield. We need European immunity to those interferences. And that means free media, that means resources for independent journalists, and that means investment in our resilience, our education, and our societal resilience.
How are you going to overcome
unprepared meetings of...
We have seen in previous package sanctions that we have had our own challenges in overcoming the conversations some of the member states, but we have achieved in the end to have a decision. I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or this week, but I am sure that the strategy is the correct one, to increase the pressure on the aggression. And it is in the European Union interest that together we make sure Russia doesn't increase its profits. And also it is our own citizens that demand of us in every country that the burden is transferred to the aggressor, that the payment is transferred to the aggressor. So I trust this would lead us to a positive decision. I'm not sure though it's going to happen these days.
But Minister, what kind of signal would this be if you can pass through this 20th sanction package
with my encouragement,
this week or until tomorrow when there's the anniversary?
That is definitely the goal, but each country has its own position in the current moment. We have seen similar situations in the past, and we have overcome them. That is why it's called the 20th package of sanctions. I'm not sure when this will happen, but the European Union is going to stand strong.
Minister, France is proposing talks with Russia. Might this be like a solution, or sending like a special envoy? What do you think about this idea?
Europe needs to be involved in the conversation, especially because if you look at not just the investment that we have made in the security throughout these years, but also our own situation that is directly connected with how the peace conversations are going to go, that is directly connected with the territorial conversations, and also what is very important for the European Union, what is very important for Romania, is that we do not only have a temporary ceasefire, but that we have the conditions in place to prevent future aggression and future wars. Specifically for Romania, we are paying a lot of attention to the conversations around the Black Sea and the Danube in the Black Sea, and that is why we are coordinating with countries from the European Union, but also countries at the Black Sea, to be able to have a joint common proposal on that.
So on this follow-up, if there will be some kind of conversations and like negotiations with Russia, will Romania support the proposal of CAE for Russia to withdraw their troops from occupied territories in Georgia and Moldova, for example? And also, can you estimate the recent situation in Georgia? You know, situation getting worse and worse, not better.
Yeah. So for Moldova, Romania has a long-standing position that the Russian troops from Transnistria need to be withdrawn. This is our position for years, and obviously we support that this has become a European position as well. We have had conversations with President Maia Sandu and the Moldovan government, and we see also encouraging news in Transnistria in the sense of citizens being able at this moment in time to also have hopes for a European future. We have seen it in past referendums and past elections that, for example, a third of the Transnistrian citizens have decided on a European future. So we see there's a way of integrating the region, but the Russian troops, of course, need to withdraw from there. In terms of Georgia, Romania has a strategic partnership with Georgia for a long time. We support the aspirations, the desires of the Georgian citizens towards a European future. We have had clear signals in terms of what we see now at the government and institutional level, where democracy is challenged, and, for example, leaders of the opposition have faced trials, have faced interferences from the justice system that still need to be clarified from Georgia in how they explain it to the European Union.
Minister Fico said that Slovakia can stop electricity supply to Ukraine. In this case, Romania has capability to help Ukraine.
We are at this moment in time in a moment where we invest in better connections in our energy grid. We have supplied energy to Ukraine, and as long as we have the production that allows that to happen, we have the market contracts that allow for energy to be supplied. We have done that with the Republic of Moldova as well, when we have seen, for example, Russia using energy as a weapon before election. But this is a conversation that's happening at the technical level between the ministries of energy. Our presidents have talked to each other, President Nicu Șordan and President Zelensky, a couple of weeks ago, and that has led to the visit of our Minister of Energy in Kyiv, where the decision has been taken to invest in the energy connection grid. Thank you very much.
Care este mesajul cu care România vine la această reuniune și cum comentați opoziția Ungariei pentru adoptarea, împotriva adoptării celui de-al doilea pachet de sancțiuni?
România susține cel de-al 20-lea pachet de sancțiuni. De altfel, o parte a discuției de astăzi este legată și de campaniile de dezinformare și cum reușim împreună în interiorul Uniunii Europene să creăm capacitatea comună de a identifica, de a preveni și de a combate aceste campanii de dezinformare. România este o țară care a trecut prin aceste experiențe și care vede și în acest moment comportament inautentic. Este foarte important pentru noi să clarificăm la nivelul Uniunii Europene că o minciună spusă de boți online de milioane de ori reprezintă un risc semnificativ pentru democrațiile europene. Și că Rusia nu folosește în războiul său doar arme convenționale, ci folosește în strategia sa de destabilizare a Uniunii Europene și campanii de dezinformare prin care încearcă să slăbească democrațiile europene. România au dovedit această reziliență, însă nu putem să luăm asta ca o soluție care nu are nevoie de sprijin instituțional. Mă refer la creșterea rezilienței societale. Ce vom discuta astăzi și mâine aici sunt inclusiv mecanisme de finanțare a presei independente care să poată, practic, să contextualizeze și să verifice faptele în momentul în care avem campanii de știri false. Despre ce discutăm atât astăzi cât și mâine aici în Bruxelles, discutăm și despre soluții pentru a crește investiția necesară în educație și în reziliența societală. Mulțumesc!
Just a quick question, Mr. Hello.
Hi.
There is some ideas that the EU should give mandate for Mr. Costa to represent the EU in direct talks with Russia. Do you think it's the time? What do you think about this idea? Or
this proposal hasn't been put forward. Thank you.
But about the mandate itself?
To reiterate our strong support for the Ukraine. Romania supports the 20th package of sanctions, and we're also continuing to do our